Welcome to Irish I Was Laughing. I'm your host, Dan Dean, stand-up comedian, podcaster, house remodeler. In the studio with me is my co-host, Wendi Ferguson, stand-up comedian, podcaster, Rastafarian. And this is Between Two Monstera with Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, shit.
Welcome back, guys. In my new podcast studio, my new temporary podcast studio here. It's not. I'm working on my permanent one. So I got internet. I'm a real boy now. I'm not a puppet anymore. I got internet. I got trash service. I can do all kinds. What the fuck is going on with my hat here? It looks like I'm a goddamn Klingon with a bunch of fucking wrinkles.
I don't know, dude.
Fuck this hat.
Turn it about the other way.
Stupid fucking. Don't be chewing on that fucking hat either. Guy. Goddamn dog. No, I said don't chew on it.
You're too hard on that dog.
You'll be chewing up my hats and shit. I don't know. I'm not hard on him. That dog does whatever. Yeah, whatever I let him do. That dog has it better than any dog out there. He doesn't even have to wear a collar because he just fucking follows me around.
Yeah, he is cool.
Motherfucker out there rolling in sawdust, getting all filthy, dragging that shit all in the house. I spend half my goddamn life brushing that dog.
He is pretty.
He's got it pretty good. I don't want to. Hey, you know what? I'm in the wrong setting here. There we go. How about that?
How about that?
Now we're all set. And I unplugged my computer. Doing that. Plug my computer back in before it dies. I'm struggling here. I'm kind of cramped up in my temporary studio. I need a little more space.
Yeah.
Going on here, or to be a midget, you'd probably be fine up in this space.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy though? Even though I am little, tiny, I'm claustrophobic and I need a certain amount of space. Like everybody's like, you're little, you don't need much room. And I'm like, but I do. Yes, I do. Or I start freaking out.
Well, it's relative. You know, the amount of space that you need is not the same as the amount of space that I need, but you get fucking closed in, see what happens.
Oh, yeah, I don't like it, man.
One time I was dating this girl who was real claustrophobic. So I thought I was gonna cure her of that shit. I knew what I was doing. So I locked her in a closet. I wouldn't let her out. And I was like, you're facing your fear. This is exactly what you need. This is going to cure you. Little did I know that was about the most toxic fucking thing I could have ever done. That was probably one of the worst things. I didn't, it was like 30 seconds. I left her, I wasn't torturing her or anything. I didn't leave her in there overnight or anything.
Oh, dude,
yeah, that was a fucked up thing to do. I admit that now. I know that. And Kelly, I apologize. Yeah.
I dated this guy that used to sit me wherever he wanted me, and he set me on the counter. Like his counter went like this, and then it went like this, and then the refrigerator was right here. So it was counter, sink, but the refrigerator was right next to the counter, right? So he sits me on top of the refrigerator, or not the refrigerator, but the counter, and
that would have been fucked up.
That would have been hilarious.
But he was on the refrigerator,
screaming at me, yelling at me, like going off. And he puts back then we had a wireless phone, and he sets it on top of the refrigerator and he walks out the kitchen. And I'm like, oh shit. Like what? Oh shit. So I turn around, I climb, and I get the phone off the top of the refrigerator. I call my mom and I'm like, come and get me. This dude's done lost his mind. He's left me on top of the damn counter. I had to shit like, dude, I had to shimmy down the counter. I go in the bedroom, I start packing up my shit, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's looking at me like all big eyed because he's like, "How the fuck this bitch get down?" And I'm carrying the phone with me, and he's like, "What the hell?" And I left, like I left for a couple weeks, and like you ain't gonna put me on a damn counter, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? But
First of all, who keeps the phone on top of the fridge?
well, he stuck it up there thinking I wouldn't be able to
Oh,
call nobody to come and get me.
oh, he did it
And
on purpose. All right.
yeah, he was being a jerk.
Yeah, that's super controlling. Let's get back, guys. Listen, I've been thinking about starting another podcast, and I actually, Wendy and I recorded an episode a couple years ago, but I think I'm gonna reboot this podcast. And it's about surviving and thriving in a toxic relationship. How to make that work for you. And I really think this is a solid idea for a podcast, and I might bring it back. And I think being so controlling that you put someone on top of the fridge falls heavily into that category of a toxic behavior.
Yes. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but at the time, I was just like, "Oh, I want to kill this. I'm gonna kill this dude. Like, I
Yeah,
want to
I
stab him."
get it. I get it. I don't know. How did you get down exactly?
I very fucking carefully opened the cabinet, held on, like, and I dropped because the counters weren't like super. Back then, I was brave too. I could get around a lot better. I could climb a lot better.
I
I
get
was
it.
in my 20s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was a spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? Now, if somebody put me on top of the counter, I'd just be fucked.
I
Like,
feel like you're a cabinet front and countertop to you is like a cliff, like rock climbing for most people. Like you have to scale
yes.
the face of this cliff, like that movie Cliffhanger or whatever. You have to wear
Uh,
rock climbing shoes and belay yourself to the top. You're up here pounding pegs into the counter, shimmying your way
coming
up.
down. Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is Wendy climbing, fucking rappelling down from the counter and shit.
This is me getting Captain Crunch off top of the refrigerator.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like, oh, I was so mad. But his facial expression when I come walking in the room and I made sure I like waddled real good, did my Wendy strut and had the phone and I threw it on the bed and he was just like how the hell did this little bitch get that? Like, I thought I had her trapped. Well, I felt so good. Well, I felt like shit, but I felt good at the same time, like I conquered something.
was that the end of the relationship?
Absolutely not.
No, you sucked it up for a long time after
I
that.
was I was on and off with that dude for 16 years.
Yeah, I know what dude you're talking about.
Yeah, it was fun times, fun times.
I remember. What else you have been going on this week?
What have I been doing? This weekend was so weird. Like, I felt like I was drugged. I felt like somebody drugged me. Like, I could not.
Is this the coffee story?
Well, no, but that's coming up.
All right, we'll get
But
to that.
this weekend, I slept like really, really late both days. Couldn't hold my eyes open, and I'm like, somebody roofing me. And I'm like, no, Wendy, you've been by yourself all weekend. Like, how could that be possible? Except for Cindy came over. But
I wouldn't hold that against that seems like something Cindy would do.
right? I mean, it's possible.
Don't count that out.
But well, yeah, that's true. That's very true. But the coffee day, I had two medium caramel iced coffees from McDonald's, and I had a whole big tumbler of iced tea. I was cracked out, like talking real fast. I didn't know what to do. Like, should I go over here? Should I go over? Should I arrange my book? Should I go in there and do something to my room? Like, I was just like, and I couldn't get a deep breath. Like, I couldn't. It was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I used to pay for this filling. I used to pay people and snort shit up my nose to feel this way. Now I absolutely hate it. So I start Googling and I'm like, how do you calm down from having too much caffeine?
Ooh,
And
good luck.
it said, lay down and try to get some rest. And I said, well, that's fucking stupid.
That's
Like,
why people take caffeine, so they
how can you lay
don't
down
have to
and
wait.
rest
Yeah.
when you're cracked out? Like, crackheads don't take naps. You know what I mean?
Well, they kind of do.
Well, no, that's heroin addicts.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, heroin addicts take not out.
Eventually, crackheads come down from the crack and they
Well, of
take a long
course.
nap.
But while you're cracked out, you're not taking no damn nap.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
So then it said try to meditate, deep breathing, hydrate, drink lots of water, get the caffeine flushed out of your system, eat a meal. So I'm in there drinking a shit ton of water, stuff in my face, and I'm like still not feeling the greatest. So I called my neighbor or I texted her and I said, you need to come down here. Like, you need to come down here and talk me down. I'm cracked down. I'm hyper. I'm anxious. So we rearranged some stuff in my living room and do a bunch of stuff. She stays for about 3 hours. But I looked on that Google and it said the half-life of caffeine is 3 to 5 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can't feel like this for 3 to 5 hours. I can't. I'll never go to sleep tonight. But I won't do it again.
You said I looked on that Google, like you're 95 years old. Have you been on that Google? You know, you can look up things there.
Well, Dan, you've seen where I live. They're rubbing off on me, dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're rubbing off.
That's fair. As for me, I had my annual doctor checkup this week, and as you would know, I'm healthy as fuck.
That's good.
He said I was low on vitamin D, which isn't the first time that's happened. And I'm out in the sun a fair bit. You know, just working outside and doing yard work and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's more of a genetic thing, which he said that's real. I don't know. Maybe I'll go grab some vitamin D supplements or some shit.
Yeah, because if it gets down real low, like I had to take prescription vitamin D. If it gets down real low, it makes you feel like shit.
Yeah,
like, you might want to get some.
I mean, I'm not super concerned about it, but
yeah,
I'm thinking about maybe getting a vitamin D supplement. They sell that shit over the counter at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
He also said my bad cholesterol was slightly high, nothing alarming. He's not even worried about it. And I said, well, I don't really have a kitchen right now, and I can't cook. You know, there aren't a lot of vegetables in my diet these days until I can get my kitchen straightened out, until I have a good way to cook some food. Right now, there's a lot of sandwiches and cereals and Pop-Tarts and whatnot.
Dude,
so we're gonna have to deal with high cholesterol for it. My overall cholesterol is good, but my bad cholesterol was a little high.
Where was that sandwich at that you post? Like
Thurman's. Yeah, a friend of mine is in town from Maryland, and you know, somebody comes from out of state and they say, I'm going to be in Columbus. Where are you going to eat? Or where should I eat? I feel like Thurman's has to be the number one place you're going to tell them.
Really?
It has to be. You know, it's been on Man versus Food, and it's gotten award on like the Food Network, and you know, Thurman's is one of, if not the best, it's one of the best burgers in the country. Which that alone makes it one of the best burgers in the world. You know, there's not another country out there that's going to have better burgers than America.
When I seen that sandwich, like it literally made my mouth water.
Bro, that thing is and it's not even the biggest burger they have. The Thurminator is the biggest burger they have, but the Thurman burger, it stands probably 10 inches tall.
Wow.
It's just stacked with shit. You come out, you're not going to eat one by yourself. A normal person's not going to eat one by themselves. It was so fucking good. God damn, it was good. And listen,
I'm not a hamburger person, but that looked amazing.
There was a long time I wasn't a hamburger person. Like I'd go to a restaurant and I'm like, I don't want a burger. It's all greasy. It's going to sit in my belly. I just didn't want one for a long time. And now all of a sudden I'm kind of on this kick where I'm all the time wanting, especially a good smash burger. I love a good smash burger where it's a little bit crispy.
Is that where they're flat?
Yeah, they're real flat and thin. Usually you'll get 2 or 3 patties or whatever, but they smash them down and they're kind of crispy.
Not a fan.
Those are so fucking good. But a Thurman burger is not a smash burger at all. It's a big fat burger. And I'm going to tell you what, I've never been to a restaurant anywhere. The food was done so goddamn fast.
Yeah.
Like we came in and they immediately sat us. The waiter was immediately at the table, ordered some water to drink, said, we're just going to get a Thurman burger. We'll split this thing. So, okay. And so I started kind of fucking around on my phone. I'm Googling shit. Like I was Googling different burgers from different places. I was Googling the different shows that Thurman was on. And all of a sudden, this burger's on the fucking table within 3 minutes.
Wow.
I have no idea how they can cook and make a burger so goddamn fast. It was the most ridiculous thing I can even imagine.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just there. And I was like, what the fuck? So we were in and out of this restaurant in 15 minutes.
Yeah, especially as fast as you eat. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't the only one there. I was clearly done first, but I got done and I went to the bathroom to wash my hands because, this giant fucking thing and I'm trying to eat it and it's dripping everywhere. It's running down my fucking paws. So I had to go wash my hands. And even still on the way home, I'm driving and I'm fucking, God damn it, that smells delicious. Now I want to go back. I got hungry again on the way home.
Yeah, I want to go there. That looks so.
You've never been to Thurman?
No.
Man, it's so goddamn good. If we're,
I'm trying to think if I've ever been anywhere to eat in Columbus. If I have, I don't remember. Like, I know I've been to the donut place wasn't that Columbus?
With me?
Yeah, what was that donut place called?
I don't know. I don't think I've been to a donut. Oh,
yeah,
where we got those cake donuts.
Dude, we had like a whole box of all different kinds of crazy donuts. Like,
I can't remember the name of that place.
What's it? Ducks donuts.
Duck donuts. Yep.
Yeah,
that's it. They're all cake donuts, which that's not my jam. That's not my favorite thing, but everybody was talking about it. Duck donuts.
I'm trying to think if you and I have ever been anywhere. Well, anyway, if we have, I would remember somewhere like Thurman's. I would remember that. Like,
no, yeah, for sure you would. I mean, that place is super well known, super famous. And if you got a burger like that, you'd remember it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thing was big as my head.
Did I tell you? I can't remember if I talked about all my notes just magically reappearing on my phone.
Are they?
Yeah. Was it last time we podcast and all my notes had disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
They're back. I don't know what happened, but there they are.
That's crazy.
They were gone for a few days. There was some like update or something, and it was talking about iCloud. So I did this update, and all of a sudden my notes were gone. Then I don't know if it took a couple days to catch up or what, but all of a sudden my notes are back. There they are.
Thank God. I would spaz if I lost all my notes.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit, and I wasn't happy about it. That's for sure. I definitely wasn't. Did you do your homework yet? Did you watch Office Space?
No, dude, I
I
don't
know
know
you
what.
didn't. I can ask you this every goddamn week, and you're not going to watch it.
I will. I will. Okay, I will watch it tonight because
Write
here's
it down.
write it down.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to write it down. Not that
Well, I
old.
don't. I don't feel like you've goddamn done it before. You get on that Google and figure out
On
where.
that Google. Have you watched the show on Netflix, The Diplomat?
No,
Oh, I can't. I'm hooked. I
you're
can't quit.
recommending The Diplomat, are you? What's it about?
Um.
Besides the
Well,
obvious.
she's ambassador. Remember the girl, Carrie Russell, that played on
Yeah, I know Carrie Russell.
or whatever.
On what?
Was it Felicity? It was like a college. She was in college.
Some show on the WB. I know who she is though.
Soap opera bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho, she's the ambassador, and I can't really explain it because I don't know. Like it's a bunch of politic ambassador, save the world bullshit. Just watch it. It's really good. It's
Well,
really really.
you're really selling the shit out of it over here,
I can't help it. I can't
making
because
me want to go watch it.
some of it I don't understand. Like I have to rewind it and be like, wait, what's going on again? Because it's about she's in the UK and they're trying to get her to they're like trying to get her to become the vice president, but they're making her do this job first to see what she's made of. Like it's kind of like a test or whatever.
Okay.
And she's passing like she's badass what she is. But it's got this other dude in it that played, remember the movie with Heath Ledger where he was a knight?
Yes.
Remember the bad guy that had the weird eye?
Yeah.
Okay, he plays in it as her husband. And he's like this cool ass dude. It's a real, I think you'd like it. I really do think you'd like it. It's called The Diplomat on Netflix.
All right. I'll check it out, especially now that the Penguin is over.
I still haven't watched that.
God damn. It is so fucking good, especially the finale, man. It was so fucking good.
That's what everybody says.
I can't recommend that show highly enough. We've talked about it before, yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Everybody that I've talked like on Facebook and social media talk about how good it is.
It is like it was good before, but then that finale hit, and Jesus Christ, there were so many twists in it, and I guess I'm not giving away too much here, but you know, I told you it's about the DC Batman world, right? You know, it's that Penguin, but it's like Batman meets the Sopranos. Like they never talk about Batman. They never there's nothing superhero-y about it. It's just the Penguin in his life. And then all
and
of a
how
sudden,
he came about is that what it?
yeah,
Okay.
kind of how he came up in the crime world and whatever. And then at the end of this fucking finale, you know, he gets all cocky or whatever, and he's like, "There's nothing that can stop me now." And it kind of pans out, and it shows the light going up with the bat signal in the sky.
Oh,
And then that's the end. It's so badass.
oh yeah, I'll have to check it out because I like stuff like that, and I love Colin Farrell. Like I've always been a fan of his. I think.
Well, same, but watching that show isn't watching Colin Farrell because his costume is so fucking wild. Like no one would ever guess if they didn't know. A million guesses was what it would take for somebody to guess that that's Colin Farrell.
That just shows how good he is as an actor.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't necessarily know if he's the best actor in it. He's pretty goddamn good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll definitely have to check that out. What's that on?
Max.
Okay.
which I've had this conversation with another friend of mine. I tried to recommend it to her, and she's like, "I don't have Max." I was like, "Yes, you do. You have AT&T. If you have an AT&T account, HBO Max comes free with it. You get it free with your AT&T account." And she's like, we've had this conversation before. I've tried to get it. So I guess she spent like 40 minutes then trying to get into her Max account, and she still couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But
I've got so many streaming channels, it's ridiculous.
I had to break down and get a few. And to be honest, I'm not real sure why. I reactivated my Netflix account now. And all I've used it for is I watched a couple comedy specials, which were pretty good. I watched Ali Wong and who else? Oh, Joe Coy. I watched his, and then I'm in the middle of another one right now. But really, the only thing I've used my Netflix for is to watch that Tyson fight.
Dude, let's talk about that.
All right, let's talk about that.
Okay. So I kind of knew in my heart that Tyson wasn't going to, be Tyson. Like,
Sure.
58 years old.
Especially against a 25-year-old dude.
Right, which I cannot stand that guy. He plays a heel so damn good. Like,
That's the thing. He plays a heel.
Yes.
He does what he's supposed to do.
I can't stand him. I do not like that guy. And what's that shit he kept spraying all over himself? I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? Like, anyway, so okay, so the fights before the Tyson fight were good.
Yeah, the chicks were fucking fantastic.
They were beasts.
They put on a show.
When that dude said, Katie Taylor's a beautiful woman, but she's got a big head. And
listen, the goddamn announcers they had were the fucking worst. Terrible. I love Roy Jones Jr. as a fighter. He was maybe the best fighter. He was so goddamn good when he was in his prime. He's not a fucking announcer.
And neither is Rosie Perez.
Boy, what in the fuck were they thinking when they got Rosie Perez?
She didn't even do her, she wasn't even talking.
If she was. But it was like I said when I made that post. If she were using her "white men can't jump" voice, it would have been fucking hilarious.
It would have been
sitting there going, "Oh, look at that jab, Millie. What is she doing?" If she were really playing up her Latina voice, it would have been great.
What's the other dude that's got the dyed black hair, that bad dye job, that was standing beside her? I can't stand that guy.
Like the announcer.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Ariel Helwani was the other announcer.
He kept getting in her face, and I kept seeing Rosie kind of do this, but he's just annoying to me. I don't care for him, but I know he's doing his job.
Yeah, the announcers weren't good.
That Serrano or however you say her name,
Amanda. Yeah,
she was. I mean. She went out on a shield, definitely, for sure. She was amazing. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, her damn eyes going to pop out at any moment. It was making me cringe, but I couldn't stop watching the train wreck. I thought, oh God, if she headbutts her one more time, that's it. Her eyes going to come out. But the way that lady fought, and they said she leads with her head. That's the way that's how she does. But I'm ugh, that fight was so good. And my damn TV kept buffering and kept doing a bunch of weird shit.
Well, I don't think that wasn't you specifically. There were so many people watching that fight that Netflix kind of broke.
Oh, it did. And it didn't one time.
It happened to everybody.
It went completely off a couple times, and I was panicking, oh my God, because I was so into that woman, the women's fighting. I didn't want to miss it, and I kept missing bits and pieces of it. Oh, it pissed me off. But the one thing I'll say, and then I'll shut the hell up, is The only thing that I thought was cool and respectful and good was the fact that Jake Paul didn't knock the fuck out of Mike Tyson.
He
Like,
could have.
He could have
He-
several
he-
times.
Yeah, he kind of laid back and you know, it was one of those things where he's fighting a legend, he's fighting one of his heroes or
And he
whatever, and
respected him and all
he
that.
didn't want to put him out like that. But then they asked Tyson afterwards, "Do you think you're going to do this again? Are you done?" And he said, "No, I think I'll do it again." I'm like, "God damn, dude, what in the fuck is wrong with you? Just quit while you're ahead."
Just stop. But
I mean,
and then go ahead.
that fight went exactly as I expected it to go. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I was talking about it on Facebook, and Carlin said, "What's your prediction?" I said, "Jake Paul by decision." That's it went exactly how I expected it to go, but it was fairly one sided.
It was
And even during the fight, goddamn, Roy Jones was like, it's like fourth round or whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I think Tyson's pretty much done. I don't see him recovering from this.
he's
I don't,
like, I don't like his legs.
yeah, he kept saying that. I don't like his legs. I don't like his legs.
But did you see him trip on the way in? He kind of tripped up a little bit walking in.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, he's not. I was thinking to myself, he don't look good. Like, and he wasn't.
He's goddamn jacked for a 60-year-old man.
Yes, for sure.
he physically, he looks great. He looks fantastic.
Yes.
I could only ever hope to look that good as a 60-year-old man. But as a fighter, going in there against somebody 40 years younger than you, what are we thinking here? 30 years younger.
We're thinking money. That's what we're thinking.
Yeah, the real fight happened the following night in UFC when John Jones knocked out Stipe Miocic. That was the fight.
No, I didn't get to see that.
I was looking for. It was John Jones. He's been my favorite from day one. He's a beast, and he hit Stipe with this spinning back kick to his stomach, and Stipe went down. And I love Stipe too, especially that he's an Ohio boy.
Yeah,
but
I read about it. The Jones guy. I read about him, and he does sound amazing. Like
he's wild.
Yeah,
he's as close as I've seen to unbeatable as there is.
Right on.
But that's the fight I was actually looking for. So the point is, that's all I've used my Netflix for at this point. But
well, watch The Diplomat.
I am watching this other show, and I'm kind of late to the game on this. Not very many people have heard of the show, I don't think, but it was on from 2013 to 2016. It's called Banshee. And the main character in it is the guy who plays Homelander in The Boys. Which, have you seen The Boys?
No.
Oh, that is a good one too. It's a superhero show, but it's about superheroes who the power goes to their head, so they kind of become bad guys.
Okay.
Not kind of. They're straight up assholes. They're dickheads. They abuse their powers, and they're the bad guys. Anyway, the guy who plays Homelander, who's the main kind of, he's like the Superman character in the show. He's the main character in this show, Banshee. It's about a guy who was in prison for 15 years for stealing a load of diamonds. And he gets out and becomes a sheriff. He basically steals a guy's identity, and he becomes sheriff in this small town. And he's trying to get back together with his at the time it was his girlfriend and his partner in crime, and she has a whole other life. She's got a new identity. She's married with kids, and she lives in this town. So now he's in this town, and it's a really good show. Like I really got into it.
I read about it, and I was going to watch it, but I ended up watching something else. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's a good show. It's fun. Banshee is my recommendation for this week. Banshee and The Boys, I guess, since we haven't talked about that.
Okay.
The Boys is so fucking good. It's not on right now. That's why I haven't talked about it, but it's super graphic, like very bloody, and there are a lot of times where I just fucking crack up laughing. It's dark comedy. It's really black humor, but it's funny and it is graphic. It's fantastic.
Sweet.
So The Boys and Banshee.
Okay.
Check those out. Speaking of Banshee, there's a ride at Kings Island called Banshee, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, I got Gabriella a season pass to Kings Island, so we've been a couple of times this year. And I think the last time we went was in July. She goes with a couple friends or whatever, rides Banshee, right? She rides everything. So after we went the last time, I found an article somewhere sometime in like June, some dude was killed by that goddamn ride.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I didn't see that. Well, he wasn't on the ride. Like it wasn't a malfunction of the ride. Like this idiot was walking around underneath it looking for his keys that he dropped, and he got just fucking hit by a train.
Yeah, it was a very bad situation.
It killed him. And I hadn't heard anything about this. I didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, what the fuck? They didn't even make any sort of announcement. I could have been sitting in this dude's brain matter riding this goddamn ride.
Dan.
Well, I mean, like, what the fuck? They could have at least given us a warning. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, that was a bad situation.
Yeah, I don't mean to be insensitive. I mean, I don't.
Oh, I know. But I just know his girlfriend at the time, and he lived here in town, and it was just a bad, sad thing. It was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah. You made me. I had something to say, and I hate when this happens. I was just telling Cindy this. I will forget words. I will forget what I'm saying. I don't know if it's brain fog from the medication I'm on, or if it's a thing of getting older or whatever. But I don't think 51's old.
Oh, you did. You had a birthday, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's very frustrating. I forget simple words, or I'll be right in the middle of talking and forget I was going to tell you something. And
I'm kind of the same way about forgetting words.
Oh,
like I've always felt like I have a pretty good vocabulary, but sometimes I'll be talking and I'll just not be able to remember a word.
And I'll be like, and the person's like, no, I don't know.
No,
and I'm like, you know the word, do you know what I'm trying to say? And they're like, no, Wendy, we don't know what you're. I'm like, and it'll be something simple, and it's frustrating. I don't know what I need to do. I don't know if I need to do them little puzzles where it keeps your brain strong or whatever. Like, what's that one, Sudoku or?
Yeah, if I were Joe Rogan right now, I would probably recommend Alpha Brain.
You would probably recommend what?
Alpha Brain. I feel like that's what he recommends.
Yeah, and he would recommend.
He talks about the same shit all the time. I think that's what he recommends for people's brain function. Alpha Brain. I'm not Joe Rogan, so I don't give a fuck.
That dude would drink goat piss if he thought it would do something. Like
100%, he would. Yeah, if there were some scientific study that showed goat piss improved your muscular recovery,
he'd be like,
hook me up. All over that shit. Yeah,
he would. He'd be like, hook me up, man, right now. I'll drink a gallon.
And it's hard to argue shit like that with the guy because he's like fucking Tyson. He's like 60 years old and just fucking jacked.
And my nephew keeps sending me these videos about what they're putting in our food. And I told him the other day, because his grandma, which is my stepmom, her birthday's the day after mine. So we went out there to visit her, and my nephew was there, so I was pretty excited. But and I was like, dude, if you don't quit sending me these videos about food and freaking me out. I said, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm going to be out there eating grass like the damn animals. But he sent me this video about Doritos. Fuck Doritos. I'm not eating them no more. So then,
I mean,
yeah.
Doritos aren't good to begin with, but I may have seen something similar to what you saw.
Oh, it was disgusting.
No, Doritos are terrible.
There's a whole bunch of candy that they chop up these bugs for fillers.
Bugs are delicious, you know.
But they're good. I'm like,
good,
I'm
good
not
protein. Good.
That candy's good. I can't stop eating Sour Patch Kids. I'm sorry.
I don't. Bugs to me isn't that bad. They're organic. They're unless it's like if it's like roaches or something that are carrying around diseases. Or
the Dorito thing did me in, dude. I was like, which I'm not a big Dorito fan anyway, unless they're hot. I do like the hot Doritos, but just regular Doritos, they stink to high heaven.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm just not a fan.
They're fine. I would eat them if they were in front of me, you know. But I don't go out of my way to eat Doritos.
But he just sends me all these, and if it's not videos about food, it's these conspiracy theory videos. And I'm like, dude, you already know I have trouble sleeping at night. Like, your videos are scaring the shit out of me. Like, we need to dial back on the damn videos. He'll send me like 10 of them at a time. But yeah, I had him rolling laughing because I was giving him shit.
There are a couple people I had to take out of my fucking. I didn't unfriend them on social media or anything, but they sent me so many goddamn videos. I don't know what it's called, but you basically just kind of unfollow them on
for like 30 days. I need a break.
No. It's nothing like that. Like I can still see their profiles or whatever, but they can't send me, like, they can send me videos, but they don't pop up in the conversations anymore.
Yeah.
Like there are people who would send me 20, 30 videos a day.
Oh Lord.
And I stopped watching them long ago. But they still pop up. I still get fucking notifications. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do it. So there's a setting where you can basically remove them from your notifications. Where it doesn't, even if I go into Messenger, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, he's not that bad. He sends me hilarious stuff too, like really funny stuff. But man, them scary ones, I'm like, oh my God, I could have went, without knowing this. Like, but yeah, some of them give me goosebumps. They're like, oh, this is some freaky shit. And then did you see where we got aliens in the ocean?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, which I don't know that that's any kind of conspiracy theory. That seems kind of legit to me.
I knew I was always scared of the water for a reason. You know what I mean? I knew.
First of all, there are things in the ocean that we have never seen or discovered, period.
And yeah, because we can't get down that far.
Right. And when we see those things, if we see those things, we would just be like, what the fuck is that?
But, I don't see those things.
Alien, the definition of an alien, I don't know the textbook definition of it, but, these things are coming from another world, basically. It's an intelligent species that's coming from another world. And just because the ocean is also on Earth doesn't mean it's not a completely different fucking world down there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is. Even if you go scuba diving down to wherever you can go, it's a different world. It's completely different under there than it is here. So,
right.
Even if it's not coming from another planet, there's nothing saying that those species down there aren't aliens.
Wild. I was having dreams about it last night.
Yeah.
I had some wicked bad dreams, dude. I need to start writing them down.
Should.
They're like movies. I'm like, holy shit.
I try to remember, like, as soon as I wake up, the first thing I try to do is remember what I was dreaming. And because most of my life, I don't remember ever dreaming. And I know I dreamed. Everybody dreams, but I never remembered them at all. So now as soon as I wake up, the first thing I try to think is, what was I just dreaming about? And it
Mhm.
almost always will pop into my head, and I'll be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, for example, last night I was dreaming that I lived, like, there's this house in town, in the town where I'm from, and I dreamed that I lived there. I just moved in, and I think I was working on moving in or whatever, but there were a bunch of like cats and dogs running around, and all of a sudden the game warden or the dog catcher popped up, and he was like lassoing these cats and snatching them all up and getting them in harnesses or whatever. And this motherfucker's carrying like 7 cats back to his van and throwing them in there. He just came and he's rounding up all these cats and dogs. And Clyde was there. He's running around without a collar. I'm like, leave that black dog alone. He looks like a stray. He's not wearing a collar, but that's my dog. Don't snatch that dog.
Right.
That was a dream that I had. And then I was dreaming I was working for this farmer who's kind of a friend of mine. I don't know where it was. It wasn't on his farm, but we were at this place, and there was a bunch of furniture and shit that they wanted the trash man to take. And it wasn't trash day, so they called the trash man to come on a special day. And this guy gave me $70 to tip the trash man for coming on a different day. I was in charge of helping him get this shit. So I helped him load up all this furniture or whatever into their trash truck, and I forgot to tip him. So I'm still walking around with this $70 in my pocket, and I'm like, should I just give it to him another time, or should I keep this $70? I don't know what's going on. What in the fuck just happened?
I don't know, but
My light just went out.
it got dark.
Yeah, I guess that means it's time to go. It wasn't Clyde. Clyde's sitting right here.
Clyde didn't do it. He's like, I'm innocent.
I guess that means it's time to go.
Right on.
Wait, do you have anything coming up here?
No, dude, I'm so painfully boring, as your friend said. I don't have a show until January.
You still don't have anybody booking you? What is going on here?
I don't know.
What fucking people? What is going on here?
I don't think they like me anymore, Dan.
We got a funny midget sitting here with no shows until January, and you motherfuckers aren't booking her. What's going on?
Sad.
I have a show tomorrow night, November 20th. We're going to be at O'Connor's Irish Pub in Springfield.
Oh, sweet.
So come on out there. We'll eat some cats. We'll eat some dogs. We'll tell some jokes in Springfield at O'Connor's. That's going to be a good show. It's Brian Swinehart's show. We got Darren Jenkins, Jeff Allen. There's a couple other people on there.
Sweet.
It's going to be fun. Yeah. Then Friday night I have a show, but I think it's a private show. I think it's some military event doing that in Dublin on Friday. And then the 23rd, there is another one of those shows we're not supposed to talk about.
Yes.
And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure I'm on this show, but last time I checked, I was. It's in Yellow Springs, so go on the Don't Tell comedy website and get your tickets to Yellow Springs the 23rd, November 23rd, Saturday.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, before we leave, dude, I know you got a lot going on. I know you've been busy. I know you're getting your house together.
I've been working on your box.
Oh, sweet.
If that's what you're about to say.
Yeah, Gloria said yesterday, she said, you really need to tell Dan. And I started laughing. I said, I know.
It's mostly built. I'm working on getting a cushion put on there. I have to get some. I was going to say I need to go get some fabric, but fuck me, I have fabric laying around all over the place here. It won't be elephants or whatever I gave you last time.
Fine. That's fine. I don't care.
I've got stuff, and then I need to paint it and get some hardware. I'm going to make it so you can open and close it this time.
Oh, sweet.
There's no reason to have a whole ass box that's taking up space that you can't even use. Then you have to carry a box and a bag. This way you can just stuff all your shit in the box and roll. This one's a little bigger though.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's taller or not. If it is, and it's too tall, there's no reason I can't cut it down. But in general, the whole box is bigger.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of.
Sweet.
All right, so you don't have anything else, and I don't have anything else. I guess we will catch you guys on the flip side. You know how to get a hold of us if you want to be on the show, if you have any ideas for us to do, or if you have any questions about podcasting, about comedy, about Lego blocks, about the military, about sidewalk chalk art, about electrical and lighting situations for podcasts, about wrinkly Klingon hats, about boot styles and or any other sort of work wear and apparel, about box building, about life in general, guys. Hit us up at irishIwaslaughing@gmail.com. Until then, catch you next time. And we'll see you on the next episode.